Hey guys, and welcome back to Pure Heart. Chris here, as usual, back again with another album review. And guys, before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button on this video and also comment down below what you guys thought about this album. And if you're new here or a returning visitor and you haven't yet subscribed, then maybe hit that subscribe button. It would really help out this channel. But let's get into it. So Maverick City Volume 3 Part 1 is the third volume, or the third album per se, by Maverick City Music. If you guys don't know who Maverick City Music is, they're really more or less this group of worship leaders that come together and make worship music. They aren't really affiliated with a church per se. It's more of this, they have these writing camps, and it's really just to create this free space for worship artists to be able to write music. Literally the best way to describe it is passion for worship music, if that makes sense. Their albums are usually very long and very spirit-filled. It's really the vibe that they're going for. Normally I would not be that type of person for this, but somehow for them, they make it work, and I don't know how. Like, a lot of artists, they try to do these long-winded songs, and 9 out of 10 times they don't really work and they really fall off. But for these songs, at least for this album, I'm gonna be honest, I actually really enjoyed the longer songs. My favorite song off of here is called Lean Back, and it's almost 16 minutes. I actually, not gonna lie, some of the songs I actually really didn't necessarily like off this album were probably the more condensed, shorter versions, mainly because it just didn't feel right. I think it's really the type of vibe that they're going for, mainly because it didn't sound like a very studio album, but like really this worship experience. I guess the best way to describe it is whenever I was reviewing my Common Hymnal Unplugged album. It's literally the best way to describe it, with just a group of people and everyone just singing. And that's literally what you get within this album, is just a group of people and they're just singing along, and it doesn't really sound staged, but it also does sound staged, and it's really cool. It's not like big production of like your Bethels or like your Hillsongs or really stuff like that. It's more of this is raw, authentic worship, and I actually really enjoy that. It has a lot of spontaneous worship, and at first I didn't really care for it, but then the more that I've listened to this album, the more I'm just like, I really enjoy the spontaneous worship, because they're able to nail it way better than The Upper Room or stuff like that. I guess the best way to describe the sound of this is probably a more condensed version of Upper Room. Probably more of the lines of a more spontaneous worship, like the Common Hymnal Unplugged album that I reviewed, and you guys need to possibly check that out. But also, with this album, you get very famous worship leaders. You get Amanda Lee Cook in there. You also get from Elevation fame, Chris Brown, who does an amazing with his song Have My Heart, which is also now featuring probably one of my favorite worship leaders on to teens right now, and you get to hear a lot of him in here, which I was really glad about. That is Chandler Moore, who just every song again that he does, he just brings it. And at first, it's like, what, honestly, it's like maybe he's just a better backup person. But then the more that you listen to it, especially the song Man of Your Word, and also Lean Back, and also the one that he did with Chris Brown, those three songs, and also the end song that he has is just amazing. Like, he just brings it just keeps on bringing it and bringing it. Literally the first part is just him with this audience per se, him doing the spoken word and spontaneous worship, and it really gets you into this whole album is going to be about. So it starts with a spoken word, which is usually not that much done with a lot of worship music. You usually get your fast-paced songs for your first one. You don't really get a fast-paced song within this, so if you guys are looking very more or less like upbeat type of vibe, then you're probably not going to get that. You're going to get more of this raw emotion, just falling onto your knees, worshiping Jesus type of moments, which for a lot of people, you guys may really enjoy that. And this is actually may be that album for you, and it may be the artist for you to listen to, because a lot of their songs are just like this. But also, the best way to also describe the sound of this is if you get gospel music and worship music and you mix it together, and that's which this really interesting vibe is, which I actually don't mind. Okay, it's very nice change of pace, which I think why it works for this type of album. So overall, I'm probably gonna have to give this album a 3.5 out of 5 praise hands. An album that's for spontaneous worship, it really surprised me. I thought, going into this, I was going to dread it listening to it, but I had a very fun time listening to it. I really enjoyed the songs Lean Back, also Promises, and also Have My Heart. 3 songs that I do recommend you guys listen from this album. And also, if you like gospel music and you like worship music, then you'll probably like this music too, and if you like spontaneous worship, you'll probably love this album. That's all I can really say, because it's really just filled with spontaneousness that honestly for a normal worship band would drag on, but it doesn't, because of really this raw emotional type of spirit that they're trying to go for, and for that they know who they are, and I appreciate that. They're not trying something that they aren't, and it creates this nice environment for it. But with that, if you guys would, leave a like onto this video, and also comment down below what you guys thought about this album, what your favorite song off this album was, and also what you guys want me to review that's in the past, that's coming up, or whatever it may be. You guys put it down in those comments. Again, it helps me put out content that is more suited to what you guys like, rather than, to what I like, because guess I'm not that needy, okay? And also, if you're new here or a returning visitor and you haven't yet subscribed, but you may like what we do here at Pure Heart, then hit that subscribe button. It would really help out this channel. But with that, you are loved. Boom. Bye.